Hey everyone, John Henry here from School of Trade. Today we're going to be taking a look at a short trade here on on crude oil. Now, essentially the reason why I like this entry point here is because my stop can be very small. Now, the reason it can be so small is because if we break above that 91 and hit that 92 area, the trade is completely invalid. And that allows us to get in with a very tiny stop. Now, in terms of the downside potential here, I'm looking for the market to want to come back down to where they found balance before at around 55. And that's going to be my overall objective. Now, we can obviously tell. I don't even have to zoom out of the chart. We know we're bearish, right? We've been falling all morning, and this may come on the backs of the Brexit stuff. Regardless of where it's coming from, we're bearish. We can look at the chart. We know that very easily, so we need to be sellers. Now, in terms of finding the location to sell, this is where we need to start paying a little bit closer attention. We can't just drop sell orders in the middle of nowhere. So basically, this big move down here, the last time we even came back to the moving average was back here at around 6 o'clock, a little after. And notice the follow through, right? It hit the moving average and it absolutely dumped. Now, the time before that, they didn't get as extreme of a move. But this time around, they did at around 6:15 or so, and they got slammed lower. Now, am I expecting that kind of move? Probably not. A lot of the sellers very likely already made all of their money on the way down. What I am expecting, though, is for a reaction like the one before. That was kind of the prove it bounce, and that's sort of what I'm looking for in this regard. And that went back down to the lows and then found support. So that's what I'm looking for here. We came back to the moving average. The buyers tried getting the move going. Beautiful bull candle up. It did follow through. And then no more follow through. It completely fell apart, right? So the fact that they fell apart, the buyers come back in and try to get another attempt to go higher. As long as that doesn't break and go higher, we're good to the downside, knowing that the buyers are liquidating their positions, and that should cause a stop run. If they don't, back to the downside, and that's what we're counting on here. So an entry at 87, stop is at 92, nice small little stop there. Looking for a run down to 46.55 to get the same equivalent move that we saw earlier in the morning here, back to that swing low. So we'll give them a little bit of time here. Seeing some really good follow through. Now we just have to wait for them to finish the job and push down to that 46.55. Seeing the sellers pushing down again, we're only a couple ticks away from our target. Now, we did miss our target by one tick earlier, and normally that's where I'm going to lock my stop in a little bit tighter. But given the location and given the amount of support that we're expecting here, the probability is very high that we do break through those lows. So I offset my stop a little bit because I don't want to take a loss on the trade, but I will leave open a little bit of room here for the sellers to try to get that drive down. Now, in terms of that drive down that we're looking for here, again, we are coming very close. But you can see as soon as the buyers try to get it move higher, they're immediately slapped down. That's why my stop is above that area. And that's giving us further confidence of the downside. The sellers have a huge bias here in that they're heavy, right? They're very heavy. A move down like we saw back here, you very much expect it to retest, right? That kind of move down has a lot of bears interested, and a lot of sellers may have missed that move. So when they're given a choice to jump into the market, they're going to likely take it. A lot of people will. And that's going to cause a flood of orders towards the downside. And now they're just starting to get triggered in. We had some sellers that probably sold that, more likely sold that one, and probably selling inside here, and that's where we're expecting a little bit of the follow through. Now, depending on where they want to go from here, if they're able to break down and give us our target, then we're done. If they're not able to do it yet, as long as we don't hit our stop area up here at around 83, then we should be good to go. But in this case, while they broke down, we got our target. So just a beautiful move to the downside here, and there are still going to be objectives at the actual lows. A lot of sellers will want to see that low broken and then take their profits off at the bottom there. But for me, I usually like being a little bit more conservative. Just give me my target and I'll be a happy camper. And that's all we're looking for there. So a beautiful rundown, gorgeous read on the price action on that huge drop lower. Sellers chased it and they caused another drop lower. And we were able to get a very solid entry up at the top there. So overall, that's going to do it for me. If you have any questions about it, feel free to send an email to School of Trade. Don't forget to check out our trial at schooloftrade.com. And as always, we'll catch you next time.